we're good.
Like we're live?
We're live.
Alright, that's a bet.
Am I hosting or you?
Yeah, no, you are. You got the list.
Well, okay. I just realigned it on the stream, so now we're good. Welcome into Off the Pedestal with Gabe and Cooper. We're gonna be trying to do these on Friday nights now, maybe Saturday, maybe Thursday, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday. We haven't decided yet. This
Weekly.
is sometime during the week if there's things going on. Maybe it'd be bi-weekly for now until football season, but right now we got a lot of stuff to cover and moderately a lot of time to do it.
Right, no, we got a lot of time. We're going to try and be doing these podcasts weekly, maybe bi-weekly for the time being, since it is July, and, well, there's usually not anything going on in sports, but there is today.
Well, more than June, and what are we,
Yeah.
2 weeks after the NBA free agency starting?
Yeah.
Somehow we still have free agency news, and with that we have Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, so Kyrie Irving today, it was released that in a meeting with the Cleveland Cavaliers last week, he and his agent told the Cavaliers that he wants out. He wants the Cavaliers to trade him, and he gave them 4 possible trade destinations. I believe it was New York, Miami, Minnesota, or San Antonio. So what do you think the most interesting one is?
Most interesting, most scary. San Antonio, Minnesota, Miami, then New York.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's your rankings, but that's mine.
I don't know.
I mean, if you get...
I think I'm going to flip-flop New York and Miami.
But you're forgetting about Deion Waiters.
No, I'm not forgetting about Deion Waiters. I like Deion Waiters. I'm not forgetting.
But you're 41-41 versus bottom of the East.
Here's the thing, though. Here's my thing with the Knicks.
They don't really have... I don't know if this is what you're about to say, but Carmelo isn't as good of a ball handler as you can get with Kyrie.
No, I completely agree. Kyrie's the best ball handler in the NBA.
You're essentially running the point with Carmelo some points in the season, and that's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that can, I think a Kyrie Porzingis duo would work well. Now, I don't know what that will leave Carmelo.
Here's why I think it could work. Now, you might make the playoffs. You're in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference isn't anything. 41-41 got you into the playoffs if you're the Chicago Bulls this year. The Heat, that's another story. But the New York Knicks were the 12th seed. They were 20 games below 500 this year. But they were stuck in the 90s. Everyone seems to forget. Phil Jackson, the president, had them running I don't even know what the hell it is. A somewhat triangle offense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're stuck in an offense that hasn't worked since the early 2000s. And now that Phil Jackson's gone, you can finally build around your strengths while Carmelo is likely gone. He does not want to play there next season. You could have Kyrie Irving and Kristaps Porzingis team up, and maybe you could get something out of a trade for Carmelo.
Which, in that case, could be Kyrie Irving.
It could be. And if you do that, I'm sure there's some free agents still out there that you can sign.
I don't know. I think... Don't see a way Cleveland wins in anything. Maybe with Carmelo, but they need a ball handler at that point.
I don't think they'll win at all.
I think Boston has it if Kyrie's gone.
They have the East.
Yes.
I think I can completely agree with you. Here's my thing, though. I have 2 points. One is a question to you. What do you think will happen with Kevin Love if Kyrie is shipped out?
I think you got to keep Love. You can't, especially with the excess right. Unless, let's be honest, Love is going to be the one that's longest tenured from this big three in the long run.
See, I don't know about that. That ties directly into my other point. I think Kyrie Irving leaving is the best thing that can happen to Cleveland in a getting LeBron James to stay standpoint.
Maybe.
Because I think LeBron James realized this big three isn't working. We're not going to beat the Warriors. So this gives LeBron some time.
Leeway.
It gives him some time to think. Right now they don't have a GM. They're expected to name their assistant GM to be the GM. But let's be honest.
Per Woj.
LeBron James is the GM. LeBron
Pretty
James
much.
is the coach. He's the GM. He's their star player. LeBron James is whatever the hell he wants to be. It's Cleveland. They worship him. They gave him the nickname King James. So, LeBron James can say to the Cleveland front office, all right, trade Kyrie here. Kyrie has no say in where he goes. No say. He's the one who has to be traded. So, and I from what I understand, according to Brian Windhorst, LeBron James is not happy at the moment. He's blindsided and he's in disbelief, I think is what he said, at these rumors. So LeBron James can think and say, all right, who is my next big three? Who are the guys that I can build a team around, or who can come and help me, support me in my last years? I can take, he's not going to say this, but he's going to be taking on a lesser role because I believe he is 32.
I believe if most teams that he'd be joining, I think if they're joining him, he's still the lead guy. But if he's going to join someone, he's probably second fiddle.
Yeah, I agree.
Which Operation Banana Boat, in all speculation, is possible with the Houston Rockets.
See,
I don't see D-Wade fitting in Operation Banana Boat right now. I don't see how he gets there, but if he does, I think he's a bench player. No matter where they go with Banana Boat, he's the bench player.
I don't know how I feel about Banana Boat.
Do you think they can win all together at their age? Just give me 3 years ago.
Before we talk about it, why don't you explain to people who don't know what Operation Banana Boat is?
Operation Banana Boat is
not Knight's Wob.
Is the
Knight's Wob.
Well, it's more of a thing. A few years ago, they took a vacation. Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, and D-Wade, and they were riding on a banana boat, and there's photos everywhere. And now, since then, everyone's like, they're going to end up teaming up some way, somehow. Last year they got close, and this year everything was aligned except for D-Wade. And now, coming on to next year, I don't really know what D-Wade's contract situation is, but I think he's a free agent after this next year.
He's a free agent after this next year.
I think they can team up, but no matter where they go, I don't know if I think I'd rather have D-Wade coming off the bench for me.
See, that'd be an interesting situation, I've always thought. Because you'd have Chris Paul running the point, Dwayne Wade playing shooting guard, obviously. Carmelo would be your small forward, and LeBron James would be your power forward. It really depends on where they go, who would be their center. I think if you have a good young center, it's not going to happen, but say they went to New York. You had Kristaps Porzingis play your center. That would be a team that could win it all. But I don't think those four guys alone with a mediocre center could win it all. Because once you look, you look at the Golden State Warriors, their bench is too stacked this year.
Do you honestly see for most places they can go in a situation where D-Wade's actually starting?
It really depends.
I honestly don't know if they'd be able. I think they'd be able to win more if they had another shooting guard starting over D-Wade. D-Wade coming out the bench might be more valuable at this age.
Dwayne Wade wasn't bad last year though.
Yeah, but he's also not the same guy and going off.
He averaged 18.3 points per game last year.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why Houston's being brought up right now is, we'll go ahead and jump into it, Carmelo Anthony, who has been unhappy with New York's his tenure so far, and he's looking to team up with James Harden and Chris Paul, which would make half of the banana boat already there, with most of them being locked down. I think Carmelo's locked down. I think wherever Carmelo gets straight to, that's where banana boat has to go. If they're wanting to do it, and I think Houston would be their only. I think if they go to Houston, I think they would definitely win. If they were all in Houston together, with Clint Capella and everyone else, D-Wade off the bench.
Yeah,
if the money works, then they can get it to work, and it'd be great.
I could see that. My only thing about Operation Banana Boat, the thing that would concern me is, even if they played for Houston, they wouldn't win it all. And I'll tell you that because they can't keep up from the three-point line. They have no... other than James Harden... Chris
Paul's numbers are getting higher in three-point.
What were his three-point? I'll look that up.
I think he was 65. I think he was 65% or 70%.
From 3,
Yeah.
he was 41% last year.
That's not too bad, though.
That was way off.
I know.
James Harden, I think, was in
40.
He was 40.
But you got to think, with all those playmakers on the court at one time, you got to think who you're going to...
He was 34%.
There's going to be times where Clint Capella is going to be open, and that's when you got to run the offense depending on the game.
No, I completely agree with you, but to make that happen, they would have to get rid of the little bench they have. Ryan Anderson would have to be gone.
Well, Ryan Anderson has to be gone no matter what happens.
You're right.
Want to win anything this next season, too.
But I still think if you take... So your starting 5 would be James Harden at the point, Chris Paul at the shooting, Carmelo small forward, LeBron power forward, Clint Capella center.
I think it works because
you have Dwayne off the bench. You have Dwayne Wade and maybe Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon's still there. Other players will follow. Other bench level players will follow where LeBron goes.
I don't know if they would have the money for that though. After all those guys.
No, because there'd be players near the end of the road. They're just going to be taking the pay cut and going. Yeah. I think if the money can work, they would be able to win.
I don't know though. I really don't. I have a problem with saying that definitively saying that they could beat the Warriors.
Is LeBron the second or third best? Is LeBron going to be guarded by the second or third best player, or third defender, third best defender? Who would
I think he'd be guarded by Draymond. I mean, you have to put Draymond on him.
I'm just saying, in a sense of just any team.
Second.
Okay, so you think number one's James Harden, obviously. You had to get a guy on him. Because he'll create.
You put Klay Thompson on him.
You put Klay on him.
You put Steph on Chris Paul.
Chris Paul probably can... I think he can... The only thing is, you got the team defensively with... I don't know. They wouldn't be that good defensively. Chris Paul, he's a good defender. But
so is Draymond.
No, I'm just saying...
So is Klay.
But you got to think... Some of these players, like Carmelo, they're not used to be guarding by... In this sense, Carmelo's guarded by the fourth best player. The fourth player on the team, the fourth best defender.
Okay, so... Let's take a look at who would start for you for Golden State against the Rockets?
Against the Rockets? Well, the start...
Who would start... Who would the fifth player be? We know the 4. Who would the 5th be?
I think you put Draymond at center, and I think somehow you got to fit... you gotta fit what other backup point guard? Fit him in.
The rookie?
No, it's the or no, did he sign somewhere else? The guy that's been backing up.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I can't tell you. He's really good. He's been off the bench for the last few.
Who started at the 5 for the Warriors this year? Was it Iguodala? Or was he on the bench?
It was Zaza, I think.
Did Zaza start? Zaza didn't start.
I think he did. Zaza started. Because that's why he was getting votes for the All-Star game, because he was the starting. You could call me crazy.
No, I think you're right. So
can you find a...
So, well, here's my thing. So let's take a look at this with the starting 5 of each team. You would have, in that sense, because you think the top defender, or you think of the top 5 players, and you don't think of it in terms of top defenders, you think about who it is. So you would have, like we talked about, Klay Thompson on James Harden, Steph Curry on Chris Paul, Kevin Durant. Would you have Kevin Durant on... You'd have Kevin Durant on Carmelo Anthony.
Probably.
You would, no, you would. You would have Kevin Durant on Carmelo Anthony.
But Carmelo is... And
you would have Draymond Green on LeBron.
That's fair.
So then you have Zaza on...
I don't know if
Clint
Zaza
Capella.
starts, though.
I don't know who would start. I don't know
I think you got to go small. I don't know if you can go small ball or not, but I think it'd work more. Because I think...
So then do you put Draymond... No, you don't put Draymond on Clint Capella.
No. You just...
But you can put Kevin Durant on LeBron James.
It's worked before. It worked in
That's what I'm saying.
Finals. Just go small ball and you're good.
I don't think you go small ball. I think you can put whoever on Clint Capella and that team's still better.
You might be right.
I'm thinking even even if you take a look at the Warriors starting, say Zaza starts at the center, they are still a better team than a Banana Boat and James Harden Rockets team.
Okay, let's break the fourth wall here. Tanner showed up. Tanner, we're talking about if Operation Banana Boat happened to the Houston Rockets, where James Harden and everyone else showed up to the Rockets. Do you think they can beat the Warriors and win it all?
Well, let me give myself a little introduction here, guys. I'm like what I like to call a not douchebag Tom Brady, as in I wasn't here for the first half, but you best believe I showed up for the second to kick the second half's ass.
We're in our first topic.
Oh, really?
We are.
We've been talking for this long on this.
Hell yes. Dude, this is sweet. Okay. What's up, guys? My name's Tanner. This is Off the Pedestal podcast.
We already did that.
I know he did, but I wanted to be a part of it because I usually do it. Anyway, carrying on. Could it happen in Houston?
No.
No. We've
if the money
established that
works.
it
If
could
the money
if the
works.
money works. But we're saying, we're saying Dwayne Wade would come off the bench.
Okay.
So you would make room for Harden and Capella in the starting lineup. So you would have Harden at the shooting guard, Chris Paul at the point guard. Wow. James Harden at the point guard, Chris Paul shooting guard. You do that?
Because Chris Paul's
Okay.
more of a natural point guard.
Okay. Well, yeah, he is a natural point guard. And then you have Carmelo at the 3, LeBron at the 4, Clint Capella at the 5. Could they beat a Warriors starting 5 of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and Zaza Pachulia? I say no.
I think there's two ways that game could go. Or you're talking about a series?
I'm talking about a series.
Because Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, we're talking about the series. I don't think it could happen because I don't think they could keep up in athleticism. See, I think it would be more of an OKC San Antonio Spurs 2 years ago, where OKC just swept them in 6, even though they were the second best team in the Western Conference.
I think there's
Because
honestly there might be
just of sheer athleticism, I think it would be.
I think if we're looking at the talent level of the team, I honestly might say the Rockets have more talent in the level, but
I completely agree.
maybe
More
at least
talent and
starting
I mean,
five.
you could definitely say more experience, with the exception of Capella.
I think for some of those players, you can have a good long debate if Chris Paul is better than Steph Curry.
Defensive wise, and I
James
think
As an
Harden
overall
is
player, he's better than Steph.
I think Draymond might be the only outsider where he for sure is the better player from anyone else that would be on him. Like Draymond's better than Clint Capella.
Well, Draymond always has
and he's better than he's
time.
better than Carmelo. So he's
okay,
better.
So hold on, let's flip the switch. Let's analyze this. If you're looking at a Warriors on offense, who would be guarded by who? Who would guard Steph Curry?
You got to go with Paul George or not Paul George? Chris Paul. Chris Paul.
Okay, so you would have James Harden on Klay Thompson.
Yes.
Who guards Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant.
LeBron Yams.
You got to just steal LeBron.
LeBron.
Yeah.
So you're putting Carmelo.
Got to put him on Draymond.
On Draymond.
That's the least.
That's where you lose. That is where you lose.
Capella could also guard Draymond, and you could put
Carmelo on Zaza.
Because that won't affect too much.
Yeah, because Zaza's kind of cheeks without going on Carmelo.
Really, it's a matter in the NBA is for actual defense now. It's a matter of switches and how the switches go.
Yeah. I don't know. I like both teams defensively, but I think that Warriors team would be better on offense than the Rockets would be on offense.
I don't know. That banana boat chemistry is second to none.
I don't know. Yeah. Honestly, I think D-Wade off the bench is a big
huge.
Plus. It's a big plus.
It's huge.
In the playoffs, as me and Gabe have both eventually agreed on, that the bench makes the playoffs.
Always.
Whoever has the better bench will win majority of the time on the series.
Most of the time.
But look at the Warriors bench this year.
It was good. It was
No. I'm talking. I mean, next year. My bad.
Still good.
No, next year it's great.
It's still
next year they have a great bench.
They almost got JJ Redick to add to the bench.
Almost, yeah. But they got the guy from
they trusted the process.
They took the kid from Sacramento, who no one knows who he is, but he averaged like 18 points a game last year.
I mean, it's not hard. Everyone else wants to worry about everyone else, and then bam, you got a wide open man.
And then you have Swaggy P.
Yeah.
JaVale McGee.
Okay.
He's a good player to bring off the bench.
JaVale McGee. Yeah. It's Shaq's nemesis, and I gotta go with Shaq on this one.
Fair.
You mean the next White House press secretary?
Oh, we got Brady in the comments. He's saying, You put Paul on Curry, Durant on LeBron, Melo on Zaza or Zara.
Oh yeah.
Capella.
I
Okay,
had to
this is an
change.
interesting point. Nene maybe start instead of Capella in the playoffs in this scenario. Bigger guy.
Never.
That's what I'm.
Hey, you watch your whore mouth.
He's our president.
He is. I still have
Nene is
Nene
the
for
dude.
president.
Nene, the round mound of rebound. It's just he was so good in the playoffs. He was so
Okay,
good.
so he said Capella on Green, which is kind of a better matchup because honestly, Draymond's the small ball center, and so is Capella, and Harden on Thompson, which is all basically what we said. Other than
I take Klay Thompson to sauce up James Harden on that matchup. Now flip the switch. I have James Harden playing really. I have him playing really scared against Klay Thompson because I think Klay Thompson is the most underrated defender in the league.
probably.
I
Defender,
really do.
yes.
It's more about when you're guarding James Harden. It's more about having a smart big man.
Mhm.
Don't stick your arm up when he's running to the paint, or else you're going to be screwed. Ask Thunder.
Don't get in his way when he's pulling up for a three.
Oh yeah, I think
Like, don't even stand within 5 feet of him.
I think we've went through this, and I don't.
Hi,
We've
Brady.
talked about Kyrie and LeBron and everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't talked about the most recent signing of John Wall to his extension, $170 million, 200.
That was 207.
Well, it's 200, but the actual extension is 170.
Oh, gotcha.
He's getting an extension of 170 added on to the current amount that he's getting paid.
I think it's really interesting that they paid Bradley Beal. What was it, last year or 2 years ago?
They
They
can still
paid him
they can
big-
still make the money.
They paid him big bucks. They paid John Wall this year when the chemistry between those two has reportedly been really bad. So I mean, either that was just media attention or I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think the John Wall. I think everything. John Wall. What was? I think he wants Carmelo too. I forget. Was it John Wall?
Dude, I feel
Who was-
so bad for the Washington Wizards. They're a really good young team. They just can't pull
They need
anyone.
a bench. Like we've said, they need.
They
a bench.
can't pull anyone to show up in Washington for them. And they get a good coach too in Scott Brooks.
Honestly, they're just missing a bench. Like we said in the playoffs, what cost them their chances at winning it this year? A bench. Now, and I think
And they haven't done anything this offseason. I mean, if you look at the Washington Wizards, they're not a terrible team. They have one of the best backcourts in basketball, but they still finish 4th seed in the Eastern Conference.
now, let's go back. Brady just brought up. We never really talked about more than what would happen with Kyrie and what would happen to LeBron. We didn't bring up some of the other possibilities. We kind of John Wall. There's not much expansive. Brady brought up that we haven't talked about Kyrie to the Spurs possibly.
That would be terrifying, and they would win the finals.
They're better than
Moving
the
on.
Warriors, hands down.
I completely agree.
Now we also thought Scott Brooks is the most underrated coach in the NBA. I agree. He's a player's coach. That's what Brady said.
I don't know how I feel about that. I am a huge fan of Scott Brooks. I think he never should have been fired in OKC, personally. But I really don't know how I feel about that. I feel like there's a few other guys you can throw into that category. I mean, I think Jason
Spoelstra?
Kidd.
You gotta think after when LeBron was in Spoelstra, a lot of people thought he was really AIDS. He was really bad.
They were 41 and 41.
No,
this
but
year.
they started like what 19.
I know.
30?
Eric Spoelstra is a good coach.
He's also underrated. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now the thing
You got me
is
thinking now. Okay. No, carry on.
we're underrated Kyrie possibilities with Kyrie.
I think Minnesota, he would be really scary.
Well, I think he's really scary in Minnesota. I think he's really. We talked about the teams that he wouldn't be scary on, and we debated if they're going to be scary or not. We know that wherever he goes, Minnesota or Spurs, where if they would be going with them, they would be scary. Now, we could debate which one would be more scary. I think the Spurs.
Definitely the Spurs.
Just cause.
Well, are we talking... See, no, I think they would be more scary in the long run, too. I really do.
Well, in the long run, I think the there's more of they can have a longer peak if he's in Minnesota than he will with the Spurs right now. I just don't. Some of the
Kyrie's
success
25.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. He'd be right in the age range of everyone else that's already on the team in Minnesota.
Kawhi's only 26 too. I mean,
I'm just saying, there's no way that they keep the success. There's a lot of older players. They can find replacement. It's not gonna be hard.
yeah. I mean,
Now,
see here. Okay, so why don't you think he would be that? Why do you think that Minnesota wouldn't be that good with him there?
Well,
I think they'd be good, but you don't think they'd be incredible.
I don't think they would be as good.
Why?
I think to start, let's say the first 3 years of Kyrie to the Spurs is going to be so much better than it would be in Minnesota. But after the first 3 years, the rest of the years, they'll be godlike and they can win. Because I think the Warriors' peak will only last like 3 more years. I think they can. I don't know if they can win a title with the team. I think they're too young. They're not experienced enough. But
Here's my question to you. Do you know how old Jimmy Butler is?
25, 26.
He's 27. In 3 years, he'll be 30.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
I know
you gotta
we were talking about before the show the inexperience with that team, but he's 27 years old.
But then again, they haven't played together yet. Karl Anthony Towns will be a great player with or without Kyrie. I really think that no matter what, in 2 to 3 years, they're in contention for a title, with or without Kyrie.
Minnesota?
Yes.
I completely agree with you. I think okay, with Kyrie Irving, the Timberwolves are a top 4 seed in the West.
Yeah. I think that right now they're an underdog team that will hands down beat one of the top seeds.
I think top 4.
I think, well, right now I'd say they're 5. They're the 5th best team.
Who are the 4 you'd put ahead of them? Warriors, Spurs, Rockets, obviously. Thunder. So that's 4. So you put them at
Timberwolves. 5. Everyone else is just a melting pot of whatever.
I don't know. I honestly, with Kyrie Irving, I think the Timberwolves would be better than the Thunder.
No, with Kyrie, I agree. But I'm just saying, without
Kyrie, I think they're 5. I think they're no, they're 5. Never mind.
I think it's a very with Kyrie in the West, it's a close gap that they're making. You can argue that they'd be better than the Spurs. Rockets are 2nd best right now.
So
with their current team, or would you say they're 3rd?
3rd.
Okay.
I still put them behind the Spurs.
So
I honestly think the Spurs last year were the best team in the league. They would have beat Golden State. I no problem saying that if it hadn't been for Zaza playing dirty. They would have won the league.
And they showed it. They were up 30 in the first game.
27.
And then again, that was one game.
When Kyrie got injured.
But
in Golden State.
Now, as we said, we talked about those teams. What are some of the dark horses that aren't on the radar of Kyrie that he could be traded to and still make a good team? I say Pelicans.
Pelicans, yeah. They could do something.
Give the 2 big men
I don't
something
think Rondo would be too happy.
Rondo could play shooting guard.
The Nuggets.
That would be good because they really don't have anyone to play the point. Suns, not good.
No, Suns wouldn't be good.
Jazz?
I was talking about that. He wouldn't go to Utah, but I think they'd be good.
Give Rudy Gobert a ball-handling teammate. Good team.
I agree.
5th in the West.
6th.
Well, with Kyrie, I think they're 5th.
I'd still say 6th. I still put them behind the Timberwolves. I think that I have really high hopes for the Timberwolves this year. So, here's an interesting thing that I just realized. Carmelo's probably going to go to Houston. Kyrie could go to the West.
Yeah.
As well.
Kyrie's most likely coming to the West.
So you take the already thin East, and you pull out 2 more stars.
3 more. Because LeBron's probably out soon, too.
Just leave it at Kyrie and Carmelo, which are going to happen this year.
Is Dwight Howard the best star in the East after everyone leaves?
Biggest name.
He's back to the top 5 of the list. And not for the good reasons.
No, the Greek Freak.
He doesn't mean he's still at the top 5.
Bro, Greek Freak's going Operation Banana Boat at the Lakers.
Dude, Operation Banana Boat's not happening with the Lakers. They have Lonzo.
No. Different. It's the younger version of Banana Boat.
Okay, now that's also a team. Kyrie to the Bucks.
Ooh. Wow. You give Jason Kidd that kind of talent? Good God.
Give
that team wins the East.
I can't know if that's sarcasm or not.
No.
Oh, okay. Isn't that a reuniting with Dellavedova?
Yes. I saw a tweet earlier.
Yes.
It was Delly never demanded a trade.
Matthew Dellavedova is a god.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he played really well.
Any Australian headline? NBA star Matthew Dellavedova.
No, honestly, I think if you give Jason Kidd, if you give him Kyrie Irving, not necessarily win the East. I think the Celtics will still win the East, but I think they'll be better than the Raptors, and I think they'll be better than the Wizards. I think they'll be the second seed in the East. I still think LeBron James's Cavs come third.
Yeah, I guess. I honestly, they're in a bad position.
Hold on. If you're the Cavaliers, do you trade Kyrie for Dellavedova? Do you include Dellavedova in that deal and get him back?
Absolutely.
You made a mistake. With Delly, you won the finals. He's what was missing this year.
Honestly, if he's getting traded to Minnesota, there's a likely chance that Wiggins makes a return to Cleveland, where he never got to play because LeBron showed up.
Yeah, no,
Which I still to this day, I think that they would have been a better team if they just kept Kevin Love in Minnesota and put
I agree.
Andrew Wiggins in another
And Kevin
position.
Love would have been
A better star.
Yeah,
But he was
He'd be a huge name right now.
He was a better single guy on his own anyway. But then again, they would have probably never got Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right.
Honestly, Pelicans are a good one. Are a good shot, underrated team.
Bucks, as you
Bucks.
mentioned.
Not the Mavericks.
What about the Knicks?
The Nuggets.
Toronto would be interesting if they can make it work somehow, but they can't.
They couldn't make it work.
Traded Kyle Lowry for Kyrie. Kyrie's an upgrade.
No, Cleveland wouldn't want that contract.
Nah.
Cleveland would not want that fat contract.
They do what LeBron says. If LeBron wants the fat contract, LeBron gets the fat
We were
contract.
talking about that earlier, how LeBron is the GM. He's the player. He's the coach.
He's the owner.
The king.
He owns the city, dude.
He's the king.
He owns the city that they're going to burn down when he leaves next year.
Again.
He might make a return to Miami. Saw that. That'd be interesting. Him
Yeah.
and D-Wade go back home.
Go back home.
Moving my talents to South Beach again.
LBJ, go home.
Yeah.
If he goes to Miami, I'm hoping for a decision too.
It says,
And I'm really
I
hoping
won it. I
that
won a
would
decision
be
too.
funny. I hated LeBron for the decision one, but just for the comedic
No, just for the
purpose.
fuck you to Cleveland.
no, they should go to Orlando because that's so they can retire at Disney World.
That was an NFL thing.
No.
Alrighty.
Anyway, well, I think that kind of outstretched everything we wanted to talk about on the NBA. Well, let's go into another sport, the NFL.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Miami. Miami's orange. And you know what else is orange? Orange juice. Let's talk about OJ.
No. That's the lamest. Did you pre-type that?
No.
Oh my god.
It's called a transition.
That was brilliant.
Anyway, OJ Simpson is granted parole in October, correct?
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know. Did you watch the trial?
No,
Or
but
the hearing, rather? Okay.
Okay.
I watched the hearing, and I can tell you, he was the dumbest person I've ever seen just make statement. He sounded like Donald Trump at times. I tweeted it, and he goes, I remember him saying at one point, and I think this was the second dumbest thing he did. He goes, they were talking about a steady plan when he gets out, and he goes, yeah, I can't wait to get out to see my friends and all my family.
Now,
and he goes, he looks at the camera, and he goes, and believe me, I do have friends. And I thought, wow.
Okay.
You sound like Trump.
Now, me and Tanner had a civil conversation where we both agreed for the crime he was actually committed for and actually sentenced to. It was his time to get out. You don't go for.
Oh, I completely agree.
You don't go into prison for 10 years for
Stealing back
robbery?
stuff. But it was his stuff.
No, I know it was.
And
but it
the
was still
state
armed
of
robbery.
California ruled that this is legally yours.
Yes, the state of California ruled it was mine.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
he lashed out at a point where
Now-
because someone goes, "Oh, to allegedly get your stuff," one of the panel members, and he leaned down into the mic and he goes, "The state of California ruled it was mine," and he like. That's when I really thought, like, this guy's not getting parole.
I mean,
because he showed an aggressive nature there.
I wonder if he's got a bigger audience to watch him celebrate.
I've never had conflicts.
I believe the quote was, "I've lived a pretty conflict-free life."
Except for that
Boy,
one time.
I've led an allegedly conflict-free life.
Here's the
Gosh,
best.
that time the city of LA burned, I might have had something to do with that.
Remember that white Bronco and ruining the NBA Finals that year because I took
Here's the thing. The best part about O.J. Simpson getting out, besides his possible appearances on Keeping Up with the Kardashians,
over? That would be awesome.
No.
it would be
Okay,
awesome.
you realize that Kris Jenner was Nicole Simpson's best friend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she hates him.
Yeah.
She wants to kill him, dude.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Fuck yes, let's do it. Let's make
Dude,
this happen.
O.J. Simpson getting out is one of the greatest things to happen to America, realize it or not. Now he can resume the search for Nicole's killer. Maybe Chris can
He
help.
could be on the future crossover or the Big Baller brand reality TV show and Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Keeping Up with the Big Ball.
Whoa. That's something else. That's on a different channel. That's somewhere in the 1000s.
It's still reality.
Now,
I'd say keep it with the big ballers.
as we all said, we were all blindsided by the OJ sentence, and Michael Orr was also cut, and from the
He was also blindsided.
That movie was all lies, but low key though, Sandra Bullock was a MILF.
in that movie, yes.
Yes.
Now,
I'm keeping my opinion on this movie shut.
it's not a good movie, and I don't.
It's overrated.
It's overrated.
I just
I don't-
asked if Sandra Bullock was a MILF.
I know.
I
But
don't
I
have
just
film critique
every
right
time
now.
I have
I
to
don't
bring it
want-
up. It's overrated. It's not that good of a movie.
It's not. People think it's good. I was listening to the rating. They said the best sports movie comes out of football. I'm like, hell no! It's all baseball. Baseball, 100% of the time, I'm picking on sports movie.
The Natural, Major League, Major League 2. How can we forget gems like The Sandlot 3, Coming Home? Classic
Sandlot 2 was
films.
better.
Sandlot 2 was the best one.
Exactly.
They respected the shit out of women in that movie, and I fucking respect that because I respect women.
Oh, The Sandlot 2. What a great movie. Oh,
No, but seriously though, what is it? The Natural, Major League 2, because Major League 2 was
42.
good.
Moneyball.
42 is great. Ooh,
Moneyball.
Moneyball.
Moneyball was a great movie.
There's so many.
Yeah.
How many good football ones?
Rookie of the Year. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Yes. Rookie of the Year. Great.
The Benchwarmers.
Benchwarmers, great.
Overrated movie, but
It's
still
funny.
funny. As you get older, the novelty wears off. But
I don't know.
Next
I
week
still think
on
it's
the
funny.
podcast, we will rank all sports movies out of 100 list.
oh shit!
List of 100.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm
I've
down.
already ranked them to 5, and that was enough.
Top 25 list of the best sports movies.
I'm down. Let's do it.
We have to watch them all then.
I don't even have to watch them all. I mean, I've already seen a lot.
I've watched most of them.
Oh, you guys are gonna be surprised with some.
Space Jam.
Yes. Well, that's the best basketball movie ever made.
That's.
That one and Thunderstruck.
What do you mean, Air Bud?
I don't know, dude. Like Mike.
Dude, I have that movie on fucking VHS.
We're watching Like Mike on VHS. All right.
Can we live stream?
Anyway, we.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think
Actually, I think that's illegal.
that's illegal. We can record our audio while we're watching it.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't mean live stream the movie. No. I
Now,
meant the audio live commentary while watching Like Mike
As
with
we
Lil
were-
Bow Wow.
let's get back on subject here. We were talking about Michael Orr and how he got blindsided. And we were talking about how bad the blindside was and everything. Michael Orr.
Gabe,
Not-
is
not-
Sandra Bullock a MILF or
Yes.
not? Okay,
In the
thank
Blind
you.
Side.
Michael
was.
Michael Orr. Oh,
I think
wait.
it was because of her aggressive
Best,
nature.
best sports movie is Space Jam, Brady says.
Shit, nice southern
Sorry, you're
I
getting
don't-
banned.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
He said Space Jam is the best movie ever.
We do want
Well,
Space Jam
he's not
2.
wrong.
Lonzo Ball in Space Jam 2.
What happened to, dude, wasn't LeBron James supposed to be in that? Was that supposed to be happening?
It takes a while to animate it.
Dude, it would have been the best movie since Thunderstruck.
It was just announced
I never
last
saw
year.
that movie. I never wanted to.
Neither did I. I just know Kevin Durant was in it, and I'm sure his acting was fantastic.
LeBron James isn't a bad actor, though. In all seriousness.
Did you see his clips from Trainwreck?
No. Oh, LeBron? Yes.
Yeah, his scenes are
Now,
funny.
he's
Him and
the
John
actor.
Cena both.
Yeah.
John Cena's a funny dude. Not a
So
real
is
athlete,
Peyton Manning.
but-
No.
In other news, the ESPYs.
Oh,
Anyway.
are we doing the ESPYs?
No,
no.
Cooper just
Anyway,
told me
Michael
Peyton
Orr-
Manning wouldn't be funny.
I didn't think he would be as funny as he was. I was wrong. His country accent really set the tone for...
Mhm.
That's what made all the jokes fun. Anyway, we got Michael Orr is not as good of a person as he was in The Blind Side.
Or a player.
He punched a taxi driver or Uber driver. He also takes a lot of drugs. I don't know if you ever saw that Instagram post.
I never saw the Instagram post, but I know he does dope.
No. There was this Instagram post where he had like a bunch of pill bottles. Just, like,
Yeah, a lot of
a
NFL
whole-
players do that.
No, like he took a picture, posted on Instagram with like all these pill bottles right there, like a good 50 just sitting in front
Yeah,
of
a
him.
lot of football players do that. Not 50, but they take a lot of pills.
Yeah, but they don't try to like advertise it. And then then he got cut, and now he's blindsided. Now nobody cares about him again. He wasn't even.
I don't think he was very relevant anymore.
He wasn't any good anymore. Anyway. Big
If I didn't work for a national media company, I would not have even known he was cut. To be completely honest.
Now,
I don't even... Who cut him?
The Panthers?
the Panthers.
I didn't even
He was
know he
on
played for the
Super Bowl
Panthers.
team. They fired their GM. We can talk about that real quick.
They had
He
their
gone.
GM. I mean, Josh Norman and Steve Smith took shots. Next. He wasn't a very good GM.
No, it wasn't. Teams that get to the one Super Bowl or any one title, they get all GMs. All the GMs get all the credit when it's like, well, the players could have just been playing out of their mind. And then he just he went to a Super Bowl. It's not time to cut him. And it's more of like an outside thing. If you're like a fan of the team, you realize how bad that GM really was.
Like, if the Texans reach a Super Bowl, I don't care. Rick Smith's still a crappy GM.
I mean, he's done good building the team.
He's done good this year, but that
Considering
doesn't
they're only
make
like
up.
15 years old and they're already like contending.
The last time they contended, they went, what, 2-14? 4-12?
Well, I'm not saying that. They've been
That was
contending.
the last time they were supposed to contend. They have won 2 straight division titles. So
Which,
Well, in one of the
It-
worst, one of the worst, if not the worst,
yeah, it's
division
not
in
the
football.
worst. The NFC West was the worst last year.
Oh yeah, you're right. They're supposed to be really good though, because Seattle was
Jordan
supposed to
Spieth
Seattle.
in Space Jam 2, the rim jump. Good one, Brady.
God
Anyway.
Brady.
Brady's was all about those.
Space Jam 2 will make a lot of money. Like one day, Kirk Cousins will. Let's talk about how he declined the Redskins offer and wants to see how he wants to audition them as a team this year.
I don't blame him.
The Redskins suck. Kirk Cousins is good.
Where's he going?
The
San
NFC East is
Francisco.
quickly on the rise, meaning
San
that Redskins.
Francisco. I thought he was going to go to San Francisco this year, honestly.
Well, because that was through trade. He hasn't been traded. So can't go.
Denver.
I don't know. I kind of like Trevor Seaman.
Simeon.
No, Seaman.
Close enough.
Same thing.
Yeah, they may as well be fucking jizz.
All they need is a quarterback, and they'd be really good.
I'm saying, I think San Francisco, maybe
Kirk Cousins to Cleveland.
San Francisco, Minnesota. Call me crazy.
You're crazy.
Why do you?
Okay.
I think
you're
Minnes-
crazy. Okay.
Minnesota's not a bad option.
No, I know, but you said call me crazy. So, yeah, no.
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
New Orleans.
No. Drew Brees is still one of the most productive NFL quarterbacks.
No, I know.
You will not drive him out with
He's
Kirk
an
fucking Cousins.
unrestricted free agent after this season.
Yeah, he's going to re-sign for another 2-year deal, and then he's going to retire.
Maybe.
That's exactly what Drew Brees is going to
Maybe.
do.
Drew Brees is the most underrated quarterback in NFL history.
Yes,
Don't
thank
count me on
you.
this.
I've been saying that for like 3 years now.
It's like his
No
team
one
sucks,
ever
but-
knows how good he does.
It's like Tom Brady's the GOAT. I've been saying that for multiple years now, and then it took this Super Bowl for people to believe me.
Yeah, if people just started believing the Super Bowl, they don't know what they're talking about. They're not welcome here. Anyway, Joe Flacco's elite.
You watch your
All right. Yep. What else
And
can
that'll
we say,
end this
Joey?
podcast.
Jacksonville Jaguars for Kirk Cousins.
That would have been huge.
Huge.
Can be.
That would be huge. I can see it. Jacksonville's a good team, but they will never, even win the AFC South with Blake Bortles quarterback.
They'll never do anything with Blake Bortles. That quarterback.
Blake Bortles is the worst starting quarterback in the NFL.
Well, is Brock starting again?
Brock is better than
No.
Blake Bortles.
No.
Maybe statistically last year even. I think
Blake Bortles is god awful, dude. He's so bad.
Remember when
Fun
they were
fact.
supposed to win the division last year from via Tanner and Brady.
On paper, they were a great team.
All they needed, dude, was a quarterback. It's all they needed, and they'd be good.
The Drew Brees last season with less than 4,500 passing yards was in 2009. He has had 30 or more touchdown passes since
I
2007.
gotta stop you there. We're talking about the wrong most underrated quarterback of all time, Rex Grossman.
That's Gabe's favorite quarterback of all time.
Dude, I didn't wear my jersey.
You bastard.
Maybe next time.
I have to.
Anyway,
Sorry, Twitter.
another player
Marshawn
that,
Lynch.
he's not auditioning to his team. He just wants a little bit more money and possibly at the right price. And he definitely deserves to be higher paid than most running backs ever will. Le'Veon Bell.
Well, Le'Veon Bell's a beast.
Yeah.
He's so good at everything he
Will
does.
he be with Pittsburgh after this year? Who
I
knows?
really hope
I
so.
think so. I don't.
But
see
if
him
he isn't, I want Philly to cut somebody and then sign that motherfucker.
Le'Veon Bell, he should stay in Pittsburgh only to repay Pittsburgh for all the shit that he's put them through.
Fair.
All the suspensions, all the antics, and the weed.
As long as Antonio Brown's there, I think he's going to be staying.
There you go.
Oh, you got a new Twitter banner to make. Grossman for president 2020.
I'll get on that.
He'll intercept the bad guys.
The bad guys are going for.
I'll pick off the competition. Rex Grossman.
At least he's not as bad as Dan Orlovsky, who I think just re-signed with the Lions.
Who's the guy who went 0-16?
John Kitna.
Well, no, Kitna
Dan
got hurt.
Orlovsky.
I hate John Kitna.
Yeah, I heard he's a dick.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. I'm speaking from personal experience in that one. John Kitna is a dick.
Dan Orlovsky was the other quarterback you're thinking of. He ran into the in one of those games when they were 0-16. He ran into the back and then started safety himself. Just go safety yourself.
What's that?
Nothing. It's like saying go kill yourself.
Oh.
In football terms. Go safety yourself.
Well, this show just got a little dark.
I don't know. I'm still looking pretty white.
Wow,
Wow, that was a super southern racist laugh.
Okay, ZZ Top.
It's a great song.
It is.
Anyway, what do we got next, Cuber?
Next on the list, we got making wrong phone calls, making in the wrong place at the wrong time, butt dialing, whatever you want to call it. Hugh Freeze.
He was escorted out at Ole Miss today, according to one of the Oxford papers, which I think is the most brilliant headline of the year. If you can find a better one, please tag me in them on Twitter.
There's some good ones out there.
There are, but I think escorted out
Like
is
Forbes.
brilliant. It was.
Yeah. Did you know there's now pot that's edible? No way.
That's just
Le'Veon Bell,
ignorant.
stay away.
Forbes is 1000% a cop.
Le'Veon
Like,
Bell needs to stay away.
away from the edible weed.
The weed.
We should definitely get Stephen A on the show.
If you can do it somehow, go for it.
I would love that. But,
You can
all right,
take
so
a
Hugh
break
Freeze.
and watch that.
So, Cooper, you and I were talking about and we were going to name two candidates for the Ole Miss job.
I think we have our two that collectively as a group.
So you have two, and then I think I have two as well.
Are we doing the same ones that we talked about prior that were sharing?
No, you go ahead and share yours, and then I'll share mine.
If Charlie Strong has a good year next year, I think Charlie Strong's a good candidate for Ole Miss next year.
Okay, I'm gonna stick in the state of Florida, and I'm gonna say Lane Kiffin.
As you wrote an article on that, I think you have to kind of.
Yeah, no, but I mean, he followed 4 Ole Miss pages on Twitter this morning, including Ole Miss football and Ole Miss athletic pictures. Now, he's just trolling everyone. He really is. But is Florida Atlantic really his spot?
Sorry.
Florida Atlantic is not Lane Kiffin's legacy. He needs something bigger. He's coached for the Raiders. He's coached for USC. He's coached for Tennessee.
You could have done that somewhere else.
I'm sorry.
Anywhere but the table recording.
I'm really hungry, man. Fuck off.
So I really think Lane Kiffin could be the coach of Ole Miss next year, because in order to keep Shea Patterson as the quarterback there, who's one of the best young quarterbacks in the NCAA, they'll need an offensive-minded coach. And so I think Lane Kiffin's a perfect guy. All right, Cooper, who is your second candidate?
Second one, which is probably your second, Les Miles.
It's not my second, but I like it. I really do. I think it's a possibility.
Less is more.
Dude, when you have a tarnished program, you bring that guy in.
He's the best coach on the market.
There's nothing bad about him. I really don't think
It was just his time to go.
He's old-fashioned.
Also,
He's experienced in the SEC. He could rebuild a program. He could turn it around. Plus, he knows Shea Patterson. He recruited him at LSU.
who's your second?
My second, this one might surprise you. This is a guy who got, like Lane Kiffin, got a job this year, a new job. He's currently the Minnesota head coach, PJ Fleck.
You know?
Because
He's a good coach.
honestly, PJ Fleck should not have left Western Michigan this year.
He
I
could give
really
him another
don't.
year and just played it.
I really don't. I think he was fantastic at Western Michigan. He was looking for a way out, obviously, but he could have waited. There are so many jobs that are going to open up next year. I mean, you look at just in the SEC alone, Tennessee, Texas A&M, just to name a few. Ole Miss is probably going to be available depending on how this year goes.
I think someone's also a candidate for Ole Miss. Has the name?
I don't think someone will return to the SEC as a head coach.
I think he still has the name to do it. I don't. With Shane Patterson as your quarterback, talented guy.
Shea Patterson is good, but I really don't think so. Because even with Johnny Manziel at Texas A&M, Gavin Sumlin never did anything.
I mean, obviously, as an LSU fan, you wouldn't be too upset if someone went there. You know, he'd be transferring.
Dude, if Stumlin went to Ole Miss, that means they would just be like A&M, another free W on the schedule every year.
Now, you also got to think. I think another one is depending on if Houston could be the same as they have been, like dominant again this year. Applewhite could be a possible candidate. He's unlikely. Dark horse.
Dark horse, I could see it, but I don't. I mean, PJ Fleck is also a dark horse. So
I just think if Applewhite keeps the program at what it was with Herman, I think a lot of people will like that and take that in consideration when going for it.
okay.
And now, is that all we got for the candidates and stuff?
I think it is. Yeah.
Doing it. So yeah, Hugh Freeze is an idiot. Lost his job for a stupid reason. Good coach, maybe.
He butt dialed an escort service.
He'll find
According
it.
to him.
He'll find his way and work somewhere else. That's just
I hate when that happens.
Man, that happens to me all the time on my company phone. Don't even know how to describe how that would happen.
Multiple times too.
Especially if he's like has an iPhone. In this day and age, you need your thumb to unlock it. So,
Dude, I don't know.
anyway, things off and on the market in the coaching carousel. What about the trade deadline coming up for the baseball? Who's on the market? Who's off the market? We got you, Darvish.
Yu Darvish. We were talking about this earlier. Yu Darvish tonight was, and it came out reported. I believe it was Bleacher Report who reported it. The Dodgers and the Cubs were scouting Yu Darvish tonight. The Dodgers are crazy good. They're the best team in baseball right now.
Yes.
If they could possibly land Yu Darvish, just give him a ring. Seriously. The Cubs, who were under 500 heading into the trade deadline, are 7-3 in their last 10, and they are now 3 games above 500 and 1 game back for the division lead.
But you also, Milwaukee's also trying to move.
Milwaukee's trying to buy too, but I think if the Cubs get their hands,
Justin
because
Miller?
they just added Quintana, I think if you give him Yu Darvish as well, because they have such an injured rotation, give him Yu Darvish, they win the NL Central hands down, easy.
Yeah, I guess.
Except for the Pirates. If the Pirates buy, the Pirates can make a push as well.
Now, probably the best reliever maybe in all of baseball, Zach Gritton's on the market.
I don't think he's near the best reliever. He's good. He's not near.
You know it's good. You know you're a good reliever when you're the best pitcher on your roster, and you're a reliever.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Baltimore.
I know the Dodgers were talking about.
Houston's really looking at him.
Yeah, either one of those teams would be really good for him.
Houston adding another guy in the bullpen would be really helpful. If you heard about tonight's game, could have really used someone in
5 runs in the ninth.
Better than James White.
I don't know. I mean, I think if the Dodgers buy just anyone good, anyone worth a crap, I think they'll win it all. I mean, I really do.
I agree. Now, let's talk about one of the moves earlier in the week. JD Martinez to the Diamondbacks.
Great move.
Great move. They're a really good team. I don't know if they'll be. Maybe there's
15 games above 500, guys.
Somehow, okay.
Hold on. They're 15 games above 500, just like the Rockies. They're 10.5 games back in their division. If that doesn't speak to how good the Dodgers are, I really don't know what does.
That division's really good.
Yep. Best division.
They are further back from the Dodgers than the last place NL Central Reds are from the top of their division.
It's crazy. But NL Central is a lot more competitive this year.
It's always competitive.
No.
Not last season.
St. Louis made a late push that fell through, though.
Fell through because the Cubs kept winning.
Yeah. Honestly, that was a great move early in the season. It was one of our prediction shows. Tanner wasn't able to make it. And I said Tanner's prediction said Zach Greinke would win the Cy Young. Now that looked like a really good prediction, Tanner.
Congrats.
What an ace. He went from being overpaid to just paid.
He's been fantastic.
He's been ace.
Robbie Ray. It's been their ace.
True. They've both been really good.
Mm-hmm.
They're a really good team. It's just one of those things that all of a sudden, like the Astros a few years ago, just clicked.
They're my dark horse for the NL.
The light just came on, and then it's like, bam.
Yeah. All right. What else we got, Cooper?
We got let's talk about some of the starting pitchers on the market. We'll start with the oldest guy on the market, Justin Verlander.
I don't know. A lot of teams want him. I know Tanner likes the change of scenery thing, but I just don't see.
I've seen with every Astro that leaves that team is all of a sudden really good.
Yeah.
So I think a change of scenery goes a long way, especially with pitchers.
Just something different. Change of scenery, change of diet, anything really. Just change of weather.
Well, unless your CC's bad, yeah.
Then you just keep eating.
Yep.
Fat CC is good CC.
Fat CC got another win tonight.
Yeah, and we got Sonny Gray, who's been maybe the hottest pitcher in baseball in the last month and a half.
He's been up there.
He's been really good.
If the Astros could manage to land Sonny Gray,
I think he's undefeated this last month, or maybe like one loss.
That'd be huge. That'd be like Scott Kazmir trade part 2, but hopefully this one would work.
Honestly, as an Astros fan, I'd rather have Verlander and Gritton than just Sonny Gray alone.
I disagree.
I agree. Britton's one of the best relief pitchers in baseball, and we don't have a single good relief pitcher besides Chris Davinsky.
And occasionally Ken Giles.
Giles for 2 weeks, and then Gregerson for a week.
Take him international. Yeah, we could. How do we get Team USA with Gregerson out?
Team USA, Gregerson.
I could take some Marcus Stroman, Team USA.
Here's another guy. Here's another dark horse and a hot guy on the market. Tanner and I were talking about him the other day. Pat Neshek. Mm-hmm. He's an all-star reliever.
Yep.
He's an all-star in Philly.
He's been killing it in Philadelphia this season.
Yeah. Philly is 28 games below 500. They're the worst team in the MLB, yet they had an all-star.
Well, every team has to have one.
Yeah. But Pat Neshek was a really good.
He was good. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's good.
I'd be okay with a Pat Neshek reunion.
I can't get over him. Every time he gets on the mound, I just felt like the Astros were going to lose when he was with them. Every time he showed up, I was like, they're losing.
So kind of how I felt when Tyler Clippard took the mound for the Yankees.
So kind of how I felt when Chad Qualls stepped up to the mound in Game 4 of the Chicago Cubs.
How's Chad Qualls doing?
I don't give a damn.
Google
Hopefully
him.
he's dead. Piece of shit. He ruined my childhood watching Astros games. My cousin and I were at a Hooters one time with my dad, right? And we're watching this Astros game.
Plays for the Rockies.
And so they said, all right, and the Astros are going to the bullpen now. And me and my cousin crossed our fingers and like, please not Qualls, please not Qualls, please not Qualls. And Chad Qualls. And we looked at each other and we both screamed in the middle of this Hooters, no, not him. And sure enough, they lost 7-6.
Chad Qualls is 1 for 1 on the year. He's 1 win, 1 loss with a 5.4 ERA.
How many appearances?
So he's almost as good as Bartolo Colon.
That's another topic we're going to say. He's played in 19 games this
We'll
season.
get to Big Sexy in a moment. Let's talk about Marcus Stroman also on the market. He's kind of not really too in the market, but he's on it. What would you say about?
I don't know.
Is Stroman the best starting pitcher on the market if he's on the market?
Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray, no. Marcus Stroman's been good, but he's...
It's hard to judge. Honestly, any of those starting pitchers would have elevated a team. No matter
I completely agree with you there.
Gritton, any of these pitchers we talked about, they're all going to elevate a team. Position players are very iffy on because any team that's buying position players typically isn't good. They're typically not in a race of any kind. Other Diamondbacks proved it wrong. They made a really smart move.
I think the one move that still continues to scare me would be Eduardo Nunez to the Red Sox. Last time I checked, he was hitting .297, which is an upgrade from I think Brock Holt, who's playing third base for him right now, who's hitting .190.
I think Brock Holt's an outfielder. Let me check on that.
And I think he's playing third base for him.
I thought Pablo Sandoval was their third baseman.
He got cut.
I know that.
I think
before that,
it was Holt.
I don't know.
I'm looking.
How's Mancada doing?
I don't know.
Has he got his hit yet? I haven't heard about it, so I guess not.
Okay, to cut the awkward silence, Brock Holt is hitting .182 on the season.
That's what I'm saying.
He is outfielder, third baseman, and second baseman. Okay, then yeah, you're right.
Meanwhile, Eduardo Nunez is hitting .300 on the year.
Mancada.
It's a bit of an upgrade from 182.
Mancada hit a triple and scored 4. That's nice.
Oh yeah, that was his first career hit.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It was pretty
play.
dope.
Dope, bruh.
Alrighty, what we got next?
Well, we got
Big Sexy.
Big Sexy. Sexy.
Depending on his next start, which I believe is slated for Monday, Bartolo Colon, who is 44 right now, might retire. Might. It seemed like a strong possibility when I heard him talk about it.
Yeah, I don't really care either way for Big Sexy. It's been about time.
I think the only reason I want to see him still play is for a feel-good story. He said he wanted to... He promised his dying mom a few years ago that he would play until he was 45. And he's 44. He's come this far. At least let him make an appearance next year, I think.
I mean, it's worth it if it's all up to him, though. I think someone would just let him. If he says, this is why I want to do it, just let me give one appearance. Give me... Probably the Braves would be his best option. Just come back and give him one last ovation.
Yeah.
Or maybe New York, because New York likes him right now.
Well, if I were in New York, I would like anyone to play pitcher for me.
Fair.
And that is.
But they had the Dark Knight.
Stop.
He never came back.
Yeah. And he's not very good.
Alright, what do we got next?
That's it. But we got one more thing, and that's it for our topics. We got one more thing, and it's a new thing we're starting: rebrand, rebuild, relocate. It's basically fuck, marry, kill, but in sports terms, as an owner of the team.
All right, so Cooper, you want to go first? You were gonna give me 3 American League teams that I do not know. Cooper is just making these up at random.
Not making the teams. They actually exist.
What?
The teams exist.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but I don't know. Like, I don't know the teams that you're gonna give me.
Okay. Those teams are Detroit, Chicago,
Chicago.
Which one?
Okay. The White Sox.
the White
The
Sox,
ones in the American League.
and let's go with I didn't really. Let's go ahead and go with. Let's go with Oakland.
So to clarify, rebranding is also building a new stadium, correct?
Yes, rebranded in our sense is building a stadium.
Rebuild the White Sox, because they're already doing that. Rebrand Oakland, give them a new stadium, and relocate Detroit.
Get him out of that. Get him out of that city. Now give me your 3.
Okay. The Atlanta Braves, the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, relocate the Reds because those commies.
The oldest team in baseball.
Whatever.
You want to move the oldest team in baseball.
Okay, let's move the
Kill
Phillies.
yourself.
Let's move the Phillies. How does Tanner feel about that one?
Okay.
Okay,
Well, less depression for me if they're not in fucking Philly.
relocate the Phillies, rebrand the Reds, and rebuild the Braves.
Ooh. Okay, interesting.
Relocating the Braves, rebuilding the Phillies, and then
Rebranding the Reds.
and rebranding the Reds.
But the Braves have a lot of money in that new stadium. Like they have a lot of good ideas in it right now. They'll make money. Tanner?
There's too much culture behind both those teams.
No, I know. Now let's historically expose Devil Rays.
And which? What did you miss? Another one.
Florida Marlins.
Dude, I want to bring back the Florida Marlins because I freaking love those teal uniforms.
Those hideous.
They were
pinstripes.
awesome. I loved them.
I
Loved
don't
them.
think so, pal.
I love
I
them.
really would like to see a modern day Expos. I like their logo and colors and stuff.
Did you hear that they could be having a Montreal team again?
Yeah,
There's they met the league requirements to start a team.
Manfred likes
And I'm telling you, and then the next team should be
In
in
Cuba.
Havana, Cuba.
a lot of money there.
There you go.
I think that
A lot of draw.
gotta wrap it up for us today, and it's been like an hour. Hour and 7 minutes on the dot. We spent a lot of time talking about the NBA, as we should, because that's the most newsworthy thing in sports. Even though baseball's going, there's not too much to talk about. And I'm Cooper,
I'm Tanner.
And I'm Gabe.
and you can follow us at OT Pedestal for our Twitter needs and stuff. And my Twitter is CooperS3.
My Twitter is at TJ Kobal, KOBAL.
Mine is at Gabe H. Journalist.
If you find one of us, you'll find all of us.
Yeah, more or less. And it's not pronounced Cobal. Don't be my fucking teachers, please. They pronounced it Cobalt orientation. I was salty.
Well, that's all right. Nobody wants to ride on your coballs.